the Nasty Labs podcast, legally the best podcast. We're part of the Tokyo Beat Network, and we're the podcast from Game Studio Chuhai Labs. We talk about games, game dev, Japan, and whatever else comes up. So as always, we're your hosts, Kinsey and Mark. So open yourself up a Chuhai, and let's go!
Kinsey Burke, that was amazing. Hey, it's good to be back. We were on a hiatus for a little bit. Not a hiatus. We were on a little bit of a break.
Just a little breaky break.
And I'm glad to see you. How the hell are you doing today, Kinsey Burke? It's 80 degrees outside. How are you doing today?
What is 80 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius?
A very good, perfect temperature.
I think it's like 30-ish. Esque. I don't know.
Esque. 30, yeah.
30-esque.
30-esque. How are you doing? So let's not talk about the metric system and how it's better, but we still don't know it. Let's
right?
I can think in the metric system and I can think in the imperial system, but I can't convert them, all right? It's
I can only approximate in my head. Someone's like, oh, it's 17. I'm like...
Comfortable.
That's... Okay. Okay, I got approximate.
This is not the Celsius hour. This is Kinsey. Welcome
to the Celsius hour.
Kinsey,
we talk about all things metric.
How are you doing today? What's going on with you?
I am doing fantastic. I have my Red Bull Ocean Blast.
Brought to you by Red Bull. Go to redbull.com/nastylabs to save up to 420%.
Speaking of 420, do you know what today is?
Today is April 20th.
The day of this recording is the one, the only Weed Day.
Weed Day. So
Japan is literally the worst place to celebrate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
we can just think about it.
Yeah, just go. If you live in a legal country, go smoke 69 times. That's all I gotta say.
And speaking of legal countries / states, we were just in the great state of California, where it's legal.
It is very legal.
It's very legal and very accessible.
It's too accessible. Dang it! It's as someone who likes to partake in those adventures, it's quite readily available. It's a good place. It's the whole place smells like weed though. Like everywhere smells like just dank weed. It's like 9 a.m. guy. Don't smoke quite that much, man.
That's how Seattle was too, or probably still is.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you just smell it all the time.
Just chill out a little bit. Yeah. Just sometimes, you know.
And like that was one of those weird culture shocky things going back to the U.S. was I've been in Japan for a year now, which isn't a long time, but it's not a short time.
Sure.
And then I just forgot the walking around the corner and get hit with the weed cloud. Forgot about it.
It's not even a cloud anymore. It's a must.
Yeah.
Musk. It just hangs in the air, just waiting. It's just like it's always there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it all the time.
Right.
You know, I love weed. All right, but I mean, just like if I'm walking somewhere, like I said, at 9 a.m., guy, chill out just a little bit. You know,
awake and bake.
I feel like he's been awake all night and baking all night.
He's a little overdone.
Yeah. So we were in the States. We you did some traveling. Mm-hmm. You went and visited your folks.
I did the Kinsey Burke one night only.
Yeah, right.
Because I was only from San Francisco. I flew to Seattle, and I was in Seattle for 2 nights.
Okay.
And so one night was family night where I got to see my parents and my brother and my sister and all these, it was great. It was great. We ate Mexican food. Good. I think I ate Mexican food every single day in California.
Wow.
And then just kept it going right into Seattle.
With your folks, your dad notoriously will have a hamburger at a Mexican restaurant. What did your father get?
He's been getting the tacos.
Wow.
I don't know if you listeners quite understand the gravity of this situation.
The gravitas, even.
The first time my dad had tacos, well, that I know of. I'm sure he had tacos at some point when we were kids because we always had the shit crunchy taco night at home.
Right, the Taco Bell shit ones. Yeah.
So my mom, maybe a year ago, texted me, your father and I went to Ixtapa and he ordered the tacos. This is big news.
Right.
Because he's a burger at the Mexican place.
Which is wild to me.
Which is not the right choice ever.
No.
It's only there for people like my dad. But he's been ordering tacos. He's growing as a person.
Right. We should, you should, have you ever had torta?
Yeah.
Okay, just get him to have that. That's in between.
Yeah, so good.
Okay. All right.
I
Well,
do love tortas.
Hell yeah. So you went and visited your folks. What else do you do up in Seattle?
And then the next day, I went and I stayed with my friends in Capitol Hill.
Okay.
And we had a that was where my one night only extravaganza was.
Yeah.
There was like 20 of us, and we all met at this Mexican restaurant. Obviously, I'm just going to continue that forever. And then we went to a new like pinball bar that I hadn't been to because it opened while I've been gone, called Time Warp in Seattle on Capitol Hill, and it was amazing. They have a arcade machine that's more like an art installation, but whatever. And it's what is it called? It's like Simpsons colonoscopy something. And it's like a puppet show. Like the curtains open and it's just a big like puppet butt.
Right.
And then you can push the camera down inside and it like has a little monitor to the side that shows you what you're seeing.
Oh, but it's actually Simpsons. It's like licensed.
Probably not.
Oh, okay. It was.
It's
more
licensed adjacent.
You're using "esque" and adjacent kind of incorrectly lately. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. So you played pinball, you got fucked up with your buddies.
Mm-hmm. I made the mistake of every person who's like, Kinsey, I got to buy you a beer. And I was like, yes, you do.
Right. How many beers do you think you had?
I don't know.
So whenever she, this is a little hint for listeners, whenever she says how many she had, add 30%. So it's like tipping. All right. So how many do you think you had?
Oof.
Oh, that you had the many.
And so, as you guys know, I do love me a craft beer. Yes. But in Japan, they're kind of expensive and not everywhere has them. So I don't really get drunk on craft beer very often anymore.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Okay. Okay. Continue.
I get like buzzed on craft
beer.
But
whatever.
And so my system, I think, was like, the fuck you doing? Mm-hmm. All these heavy craft beers. And I probably had like 8. And like, so I did go to Dick's though that night, which is a local Seattle burger place that's notoriously open late. Macklemore made his music video at the one I went to where he's like standing on top of it. It's pretty cool.
Is that the one where he's wearing shitty clothing and he's like, I got this used at the secondhand shop?
That's the song.
I forget how that song goes.
I'm about to pop some tags. That song?
That song sucks so hard.
I think it's that one. I don't remember. But anyways, he did a music video there.
Okay.
And so I went there when I was really drunk, and I had some cheeseburgers, Dick's Deluxe, and it was the best day of my life. Next day was not the best day of my life. My friends got to just hang out with me while I...
Oh, you what? Were you just in the shower just puking and puking and puking? Yeah, dude. This is Nasty Labs exclusive, dude.
So it was fun.
That was so. How late? How many beers do you think you had? 8? Is that the number you think you had?
Maybe. I don't know. That's still a lot of beer though. Like pints of crap.
And this is the day of your flight.
No, I flew out super early the next morning, so I had an all-day hangover day.
Right. Okay. At someone else's house, which is always great.
Which is awkward.
Yeah.
And I was so hungover that I couldn't eat.
Oh.
So do you know what I didn't get to do while I was in the United States of America?
Have Mexican food.
Which is the one thing I said on this podcast that I wanted to do.
Oh, this is your own fault, you know.
I didn't go to Taco Bell.
Oh. Who gives a shit?
I do.
It's your own damn fault.
And we did talk about it in San Francisco because like the Taco Bell cantina there is like just far enough away where like you have to get like a cab and shit.
Yeah.
So like we didn't go. And you're right, it is my own fault. Oh, to add insult to injury.
Yeah, hell yeah.
On my hangover day, my friends weren't as hungover. They Uber Eats Taco Bell and I saw them eat it.
What? This is you fucked up. Like
I really fucked up.
Like did they say, "Hey Kinsey, we're gonna get Taco Bell"? They probably even said that,
they did,
right? Yeah. And you're like, "No."
And I just cried.
My tummy. Yeah. No, I can't. Like even the thought of food was tough. Yeah, man. That's always a shame. Like,
right?
Well, at least you had a good time. And at least you were hungover one time throughout the entire journey. What are we thinking? Just one?
That's true. I had a small hangover at GDC.
Right.
The one night that we were out super late.
Oh, right.
And but other than that, I was a responsible businesswoman.
Yeah,
that show.
There's a lot of words you're saying there. I think we can finally use the word adjacent. Business-esque and responsible adjacent. Like.
Yeah. But I mean, you had like a round the world tour, but you also went and visited your family.
I did. I went and visited my folks after GDC. My folks live in Little Rock, Arkansas, and did some good old boy stuff down there. Went to see some monster trucks.
Nice.
Didn't get a chance to go shooting. We like shooting. Didn't get a chance, unfortunately.
The Bigfoot monster truck still around?
I think.
Or Gravedigger.
Gravedigger, yes. I had the luxury of meeting the driver from Gravedigger. She's 23 years old. She's the granddaughter of the original Gravedigger. Apparently, it's been passed down.
I love they're keeping it in the family.
Okay, so I got to do a quick thing on this monster trucks. This is called Monster Jam. That's the name of the brand.
I've been to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's owned by I did some research into this afterwards. It's owned by a Ringling.
Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah, and they also own Sesame Street on Ice, and they own Disney on Ice. So like I'm doing this research, I'm like, this is just a factory of like large scale events.
Yeah.
And the actual Monster Jam is basically professional wrestling with cars.
Yeah.
It's because
the cars are like characters.
they're characters. Like one of them was named El Toro, and it was a bull, and then like it like would like steam would come out of the engine like it was like snorting, like whoosh, whoosh. And like in between each thing, like an announcer would come out and talk about the rivalries and like, come on, guys. However,
love it.
it was super awesome. It was like because you never it was never a dull moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it was always really fun and like. It's very silly, but it is cool to see a huge truck do flips. I mean, it is
pretty cool.
and it's like the loudest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, it's so fucking loud. I brought giant earplugs, but like,
yeah, I remember bringing earplugs to it.
you absolutely have to. It's
Yeah.
so fucking loud. But for anybody who hasn't been to Monster Jam, you should fucking go.
It's worth it.
No, really
It's a
worth
hoot.
it. Then so I went and visited my folks. Then I hopped over to London for a little bit, and then to do some stuff there. And then I went to Sweden to visit some buddies. I always wanted to go to Sweden, and I used this as an opportunity to kind of check that off the list.
Yeah, if you're in London, might as well hop over. Yeah, that's a short flight.
It was a $150 flight.
Damn.
And then like short flight, and I have a bunch of friends in Gothenburg and in Stockholm, so it made the whole trip super fun. If you haven't been to Sweden, go.
What's your favorite thing?
Probably the architecture, because it's a combination of old world, like beautiful Europe, but it's also like from the 60s. They had slightly socialist buildings. They're really like
Like brutalist?
yeah, definitely brutalist, but also not. I don't know. Something about them is just stunning, and yeah, man, the cities are so cool. There's like trams that are like old school from the 50s that are just through, and I didn't pay a single time because one of my buddies told me how to ride dirty. And
Get the inside scoop.
yeah,
on
like
traveling.
he was like, you have to sit here because this gives you the best vantage point if cops show up. And I was like, all right,
That's a good friend.
Yeah, it was a good friend. But yeah, probably that or the food. The food is I had no idea Northern European food was so fucking good.
Yeah, because it doesn't have a great reputation.
So it doesn't, right? But like I bet I heard in the 70s like they wanted to change that, like from a countrywide perspective. And I'm telling you, man, this shit was fucking awesome. It was so good. It's not for everyone. It's a lot of fish, lots and lots of fish. But man, I had a good time.
Oh, I do like
So
fish.
to you, listener, go to Sweden. Tell them Mark sent you. All right, because it's pretty cool.
And sit in that one seat on the tram. That's the ticket.
It's like a region. There's like 5 seats. it's like you can see where cops, if they get on that door or that door, and if they get on door A, go out.
You just leave?
Yeah. Like you're fine because they can't get on all the doors at the same time.
Right.
They're not everywhere, but they're looking at you. Yeah. Anything
Awesome.
else?
So I love that you did that world tour, and we're going to talk more about that in our main topic.
Yeah.
Just you wait, because
Oh shit.
we have a great episode lined up for
Right.
you, starting with whatever we talk about what we're playing, or in most cases where Kinsey talks about what she's playing. And then we'll slide right into the main topic. And then we'll talk about some news. We got some great news stories for you today. And then we'll answer your questions from Discord.
Today's show is brought to you by EPOS Gaming Audio with
a comprehensive lineup of both wired and wireless headsets, gaming amplifiers, microphones, and webcams. EPOS has everything you need to experience the power of audio.
That's right, Kinsey Burke. And also, you have EPOS headphones because they gave them to
do.
us a long time ago, and you like them.
I love my EPOS.
And you can like their H6 Pro lineup, which features 2 versions, an open or closed headset. Actually, which one do you like? Are you an open or closed?
Oh, mine are open, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think mine are open.
I'm a closed person because I don't know why. I don't want other people to hear like weird noises. The closed head allows you to tap into exceptionally detailed audio and seals out ambient noise, while the open version delivers natural high-fidelity audio with an incredible soundstage. Both headsets, I'm not finished here, both headsets include a magnetic detachable microphone and a sleek design that has no wild RGB configurations. Just good design.
Where the microphone comes off, it's actually really nice.
That is cool. It just pops off. That's
and then it comes with a little insert to make it look like it was never there.
Never there.
It's great. Listeners can save by visiting eposaudio.com and entering code EPOSFriend15 at checkout.
Yeah, you can save $900 million. Or you can't, but you can save.
You can save something.
So go get that EPOS today, or your ears will hate you.
And now it's time for What Up, where we talk about what we're playing.
And this week, we're going to talk about exclusively what Kinsey Burke's playing because she wants to throw me under the bus, but I didn't play anything because I've been traveling. I've been traveling around the world, and damn it, I didn't play a damn thing except for games at trade shows, but those don't count. All right, Kinsey Burke, what are you playing?
Oh, real quick.
Oh,
Speaking
shit.
of traveling and playing games.
Yes.
So on the first flight that went from when we went to San Francisco, our
Yes.
first flight was to Korea.
Right.
And that plane was like kind of old.
Oh, right. I
And
know what you're doing.
remember,
Yeah.
like, So they had these like remote controls that could come out of the side of the seat.
Yes.
But if you turn it sideways, it's a game controller.
Yes.
And like, okay, so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to play some games. And it's like all yellowed, like with maybe cigarette smoke because the plane's that old.
Yes.
And like, it was
Yes.
like, yeah. But like, they had like a version of Tetris and they had a golf game and they had a few other things. And they were all horrible.
Horrible.
And the controller was horrible.
Horrible.
But it was a really fun experience.
Good story.
That's my story.
Okay. All right. I guess I did play one thing.
Thanks, Asiana Airlines.
Yeah. I guess I did play one thing, and it was another one of those. And so on my Finnair flight from Finland to here, they had that. I played Tetris. It was very terrible.
It was very terrible.
No, but this was not a controller. This was just on the screen.
Oh, that's bad.
Even worse. But they had a quiz game, and they had all the worldwide high scores.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now the high score owner of, I don't know, it was beginner.
The reigning champion of beginner geography.
No, but
On Finnair flights.
I got every single one right, including the question about Picard. I think I'm the first person to get 100% right. So eat my shit, Finnair.
I was like, maybe you're the first person to play it.
I checked
Besides
all 3 of the
children.
machines. I checked all 3 of the machines because I wanted to see if my score was on that thing. And my score was.
Could you put your name in?
No, because it would have been ass. I took a photo of it, though. All right, so whatever.
I mean, that's the only, like, if you're only given 3 letters and you get a high score on a game, do you put something that's not ass?
Ass.
I mean, I used to put KIN, but ass that's what you do. It's even in Futurama.
I mean, that's the first letter is always A because you start on A because you accidentally hit the button.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're like, well,
oh, it's ass now.
we're too deep in
Kinsey, what are you
to
playing?
the ass.
Ass labs. All right, hit it, Kinsey.
Okay, so I am playing Horizon Forbidden West.
Right.
And so I absolutely loved Horizon Zero Dawn. I loved it so much.
All right,
But
hold on. You're playing this because Zelda is coming out shortly, and you're kind of getting pre-Zelda.
a little pre-Zelda'd.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been pushing off playing Horizon Forbidden West because like I really wanted to get a PS5 before I played it because that's like the definitive way to play it. It's made for the PS5.
Okay.
But they were really hard to find, and now that they're readily available, they're also very expensive because the price also went up here in Japan.
Right, not substantially, but you just didn't want to get it anyway because
They're
they are
pretty
expensive.
they're
They're
really
expensive anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just haven't been able to quite pull the trigger yet.
Yeah, no way.
And then I was on Amazon Japan,
Right.
and Horizon Forbidden West on PS4 just happened to be on sale for only 3,000 yen. And I was like,
see.
that's fine. That's worth it. I'll just get it on PS4.
Right.
And so I'm playing on PS4. I'm noticing a few things that make me feel like maybe PS5 would be better.
Okay.
But like nothing major. Like textures will pop in, especially if I'm like, there's like a gliding mechanic like in Breath of the Wild.
Sure.
And so when you're like moving that fast through the terrain above everything, the textures have a little bit of a problem. And occasionally it just stops everything and loads. Like
Okay,
the
so-
screen goes black and you're like, oh no, it's broken. And then the loading screen
Okay,
comes
PS4,
up.
PS5 technical differences aside.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience here and all that other shit.
I love it so much.
Okay.
I love it so much. And
I don't know anything about the game. It's dinos that are like machines.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically like the world as we know it ended. I don't remember exactly when, like 2060, 20 something, like in our near-ish
Near
future.
future.
Yeah. And so the world collapsed, and then there was like this terraforming system that was supposed to kick in and like make it so life like didn't necessarily become extinct because it
Right.
would like make new animals, clone new humans, like
Right.
do all the things it's supposed to do.
Star Trek 2, Wrath
Right.
of Khan, Genesis Project.
Right, just like reboot.
Right. Right.
And of course, back in the day before the world ended, there was two basically like fighting corporations. One that's trying to like preserve humanity in the world,
Right.
and one that's like the rich people who want to destroy it, and they leave and whatever.
Okay.
Okay, so there's two fighting things. So shit went down, and now we are where we are today.
Which is dinosaurs that are robots.
Yeah.
That's interesting. How many years apart from this
I think
2060
it's
to?
1,000 years.
Oh, okay.
1,000 years. So part of the program did start up again because it's like making the robot dinosaurs and the robot animals, the machines. It's making the machines.
Okay.
And that's spoilery. And it did other things.
I mean,
But for the most part,
the game came out a year ago. But
Yeah.
well,
that would be a spoiler, I guess, from the original game. So even longer ago than that. But
Okay.
overall, Aloy is one of my favorite protagonists. Like, she has a little bit of snark, but is also just like a really nice, wonderful person.
Does she do like, well, excuse me, princess?
Oh, I wish.
All right. Okay.
She is a little snarkier in this one, though, because she's like way more worldly than all the other people, because it's
Right.
all like tribes.
Okay.
And she's the one who like learned all about the terraforming system and sort of knows how to work old computers and stuff. So she's
Ooh.
like has way more worldly than they are. So like if they see a hologram, they think it's a god, whereas she's like, no, it's a hologram.
Right.
It's a message, like that someone sent somebody 1,000 years ago.
Right.
So she like gets it, and she's really snarky, and I really like her a lot. And the machines I really enjoy is like same as the first one, that a lot of them are like real world animals. There are some that are like dinosaurs.
Okay.
But there's like one that's obviously like a weasel or a mongoose. One that's obviously supposed to be like a cow, like a snake.
Right.
Like all of those. And they all have like their own tasks, and that you can slowly unlock being able to override them. So you get control of them. So either they'll fight on your side, or you can like use them as a mount. Which is cool.
You can mount a weasel?
Not the weasel. Like the horse cow thing. Like you can ride it.
Horse cow?
You get a mount. And then you can like run through the cool plains on a machine cow.
Your faithful steed is a cow?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, I don't know like almost anything about the game, besides like trailers or whatever. But like, it looks like the same world as Zelda. Is it the same?
It's a real place though.
Sure.
like
I mean,
in-
it's not, but like it's still like
You're like in the United States, because in the first game you can go to like the 1,000-year-old remains of Yellowstone.
right. No, I follow that.
Yeah.
I mean to say like Zelda takes place in a collapsed society world.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And only Link seems to have technology. even though maybe other people, who knows what technology is.
Yeah. It's a lot more populated, I feel like. Like, there's a lot more, like, socio-political stuff going on than there is in Zelda.
Okay, is like
So I think the story is, like, it's a lot
more
deeper.
adult. Yeah.
And a little bit more adult.
Yeah, like that's where Zelda always got me. Like, oh, the story isn't. It's not really a story. Bad guy there, go.
Yeah, the fun about Zelda is the, like, exploration.
Yeah.
More so than the story.
Right.
Whereas this one, the exploration's great, but the story's very good.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of assumed that it would be story heavy and then graphic heavy, whereas Zelda would be fun only. Because I don't think the story is god awful. Whatever you say, like, oh, it's a great story. Not really. Come on.
It's just Link to save the world.
Yeah, I mean, sure, they have snarky
Or help
comments or
Zelda
whatever.
save the
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
But I'm not here to talk shit. We're gonna play that game in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, and I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, of course, it's gonna be the fucking shit.
Yeah.
So, how many Horizon games have there been? I don't know. 2?
Technically 3, because there's the VR one.
Is that a mainline story or is that a side story?
I think it's like a full game with a
okay.
story and everything. I don't know. I haven't played it. I don't have the new PSVR. But the first one was great. I played all the DLC. This one's great so far. I'm about 40 hours in.
How long of a game is it? I don't know.
I take forever to play these kind of games.
Not you,
So-
but how long? Yeah, whatever yours is like double the
I think
normal.
I've read that most people complete it in like 60 hours.
Okay, so you'll be done in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully just in time for
And like
Zelda.
300 hours deep
Yeah.
into it.
But I've been falling into the same open world trap that I always do. I could collect all these things. Oh, I'm walking to this quest marker. And then as I'm walking, a question mark pops up on the side. And I'm
Right.
like, ooh, what are you?
I see.
Hello.
I see. Yeah, you do that, and I like that. And because of that, because you do that, and because I'm afraid that I'm gonna do that for Zelda, I've decided literally right now I'm gonna beat Zelda in like 2 days.
Really? You're just going to do story stuff?
I'm gonna do the bare minimum. I'm just gonna get it across the line and
You're
be
going
like,
to quiet quit Zelda?
no. Then I'm gonna then I'm gonna go back and play it.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I just want to get that out of my life because it's not gonna be a good story. But I also want to be like, yeah, I beat it.
I don't know if I said it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I might have. So Breath of the Wild, I played like 200 hours.
Right.
Okay. I never actually beat.
I can't imagine you did.
I never did. And like,
Did you ever go to the castle?
I did go to the castle, and then like I was like, shit, it's hard in there, and I left,
Right.
and I did other fun stuff, and I loved every minute of it. But now I'm like, I should go back and beat it. But I haven't played in so long that I don't think my Zelda skill level is at the point where I could just waltz in and
It's mostly easy. I mean, it's not hard.
Yeah.
Like-
So yeah, I never beat it. But I don't think it took away from my enjoyment of the game or like thinking about how much I loved it.
I can't see like as much as I like the game, I can't see the ending being like, oh, that was worth it because it's not.
I can kind of already know how it ends.
Yeah,
you know?
he loses.
And like I just really liked the what are they called?
Guardians.
The Guardians, like doing those like dungeons basically.
Yeah.
I really liked doing
Sure.
those a lot. And so I had a great time doing that. A lot of the like cool new like NPC characters are awesome.
Right.
Urbosa's my girl.
Yes.
And like
Which one is that?
the Grudo,
What's a Gerudo?
the desert lady.
Got it. Why is she your girl?
Have you seen her?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like everybody likes a big hulking lady. All right, but
She's the best.
I mean, not really. She wasn't compelling, unfortunately. Was she?
Yeah.
Was she?
Yeah.
What did she do?
I don't know. She's just really hot.
Because everybody likes that Prince dude for some reason.
Oh,
Like,
Prince Sidon.
I think it's just because he goes ha ha ha,
And then he smiles and it does the ching.
Oh, right. Okay, that is cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. Like she doesn't have like a character thing like that. But there's no reason to get a hard on over that dude because like just because he smiles, like relax, guys.
I do like that he has a lot of personality. Prince Sidon.
I mean,
He's cool.
that's where his personality ends, though. He goes ha ha ha, ting. Like that's kind of it. And he's like, oh, I knew you were the one to save the day, or whatever. Like, Anyway, I'm glad you're finishing this beforehand. Are you going to beat it, you think?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I finished the last Horizon game, so I feel like there's no reason why I wouldn't finish this one. Even though I think the last, like, 25 games that on this podcast you said, Kinsey, are you going to finish that? And I'm like, I think I will. I haven't.
Yeah, I don't think you've finished a game. One game. Well, I hope you do, and I hope maybe just you boot up other Zelda and just mainline it. Just go.
Just get a feel for it again.
No, just beat the game real quick. You ain't never done it. It really don't take that long. If you have all the crap that you get from beating the game, it's just you just don't die and you win.
Don't die and I win.
Yeah, you shoot an arrow at a guy and he's like, "Ow, game over."
Ow.
Apparently, there's better endings, but I don't know. Who cares? You've got 0 endings. So.
And next up, we have Played This Shit with Dan Gorman.
Hello, my name is Dan Gorman. Again, I'm one of your trusty Chew High Labs moderators, and I'm here to tell you to play this shit. I'm talking about Nightskate from Odd Animal, an endless runner for iOS and Android phones. In Nightskate, you're a girl with a skateboard and the world to herself. The game is controlled with a single button. You do jumps from rail to rail, bouncing off birds, bouncing off street lights, dropping into underground sewer levels, building huge combos. The music is amazing. The graphics are pixel art perfection, and there are unlockable palettes. You know I love an unlockable palette. And it's just one of my favorite mobile games in recent years. It's chill, but it's not boring. It's fun, not overly complicated, but still with like secrets and surprises. It's everything I love about mobile gaming rolled up into one. It will run you a few dollars on the App Store of your phone on Android or iOS, and there are absolutely no in-app purchases, so there's no reason for you not to go support them. Pay a couple bucks and play Nightskate from Odd Animal Studio. And as always, my name is Dan Gorman, telling you to check out the Chew High Labs Discord and remember to play good games.
And now it's time for our weekly topic. And whenever we go to an expo, that's always going to be our weekly topic because obviously. But this one, we have two expos that have happened since our last episode.
Hell yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Yes.
I mean, technically 3, but we didn't go to that other one.
I don't even know what that one was.
PAX East.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I love
like
PAX
you
East.
can just it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You can just go on YouTube and watch what happens. It's totally fine. Kinsey, so we went to we collectively went to GDC, and I also went to WASD WASD in London. Kinsey, this was your first Game Developers Conference GDC. How was it for you?
It was really wonderful. Like, it just is such a different vibe from all the cons I'm used to because I'm so used to going to cons and expos that are like 100% customer facing.
Right.
For the most part. Obviously, there's business that's happening, but it's a customer facing. Yeah.
No, the event is.
The event, yeah. And so, like, things like PAX and all the retro expos.
Right.
And so this is really different. And I had a great time. Like, they have so many, like, GDC talks that you can go to. Like,
how many did you go to?
I went to 3.
Oh, okay.
And, like, there was so many to choose from. I actually found myself like being like, oh my God, this one looks good. This one looks good. This one looks good. And I'm like, oh shit, they're all at the same time.
Right.
I can only pick one.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, a lot of the ones I wanted to go to were all very early in the morning.
So why don't we slam on the brakes just a minute? So for those that don't know, and you probably do by now, but GDC is people from all around the world kind of get together, and it's there is an expo, there is a convention, but that expo is not obviously not consumer facing. The ticket is very expensive. They want to box out people. They don't want mom and dad to come and see the newest game. It's not about that.
Right.
This is about
it's very B2B.
Industry to industry related things. For example, Switzerland has a booth, and they're like, look at how great Switzerland is doing. And they'll have multiple games on there. Or Sony will have a booth, but they're not showing off the newest titles. What they're doing instead is they're talking to developers, and they're saying, hey, we want you to work with us. That's the same with Meta. That's the same with all of I would say it. Personally, I would guess that like 70% of the actual expo was middleware, software, things. You know, like technology that's used to help developers make their lives easier, or that's the goal anyway.
Yeah, the show floor way more has like a trade show feel rather than a convention.
Because it is a trade show.
Yeah, because it is a trade show.
It has
That's
nothing
the vibe
to,
they're throwing down.
Right, because all these middlewares, for example, what they want to do is they want to give you a solution, and then you pay 15% of everything you earn to them.
Right.
These are long-term, long cons, and it's very expensive solutions, and it's very expensive to even be at the convention. So not only is there the convention itself, but there's the after hours, which is where a lot of what people do basically.
There's a lot of networking events. And parties.
It's strictly a networking event. That's what the whole entirety of it is. So don't get in your mind that it's like PAX. It's like
it's not.
There's going to be no. You're not going to see the trailer for any game at GDC. You're not gonna. It has nothing to do with that. This is strictly. Let's be as real as possible. It's strictly a money event. And sure, you can go to a lesson, but it's all about the Skrilla, and it is great. Because it's an opportunity that so many people from Australia don't go to PAX West or whatever. People from developers, they don't go to these things, but they go to GDC. Everyone goes to GDC. It's kind of the de facto rule to go. So with that in mind, sorry that I over-explained it, but I felt it was important. But
yeah, because I think maybe a lot of people, especially who aren't in the industry, GDC does sound kind of like nebulous, and they don't really know what it is.
Well, did you? Did I? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I felt it was probably like a different E3. That's
yeah.
what,
That's what I thought originally.
Like I felt it was business to business, but I thought it was more business catered to like press outlets or I felt like things were still happening in an exciting way. They're not. I'm not saying it's not exciting. I just mean it's not big and huge like that.
Yeah.
You know.
But we went to some really amazing events. Like I went to the Remedy party. We went to the Raw Fury and the Mix party. We went to the awards. And that was really cool. I'd never been to like a big award show before. And that was really fun. And Curse to Golf did get the honorable mention at the IDGA.
Yeah.
We didn't get to go like on stage. They didn't say it at the thing. They just put it on their website. But it is really cool.
Yeah, so you went to 2 award shows.
Yes.
I went to one because I couldn't stand it. But like they had back-to-back IGF and GDC awards.
GDC awards, yeah.
In the same exact location, in the same. They just kind of changed the backgrounds and changed the host. That's all it really is. So let's demystify that a little bit. It's not. However, it does seem really exciting. It looks like the Golden Globes. It doesn't look like the Oscars. Not quite that level.
Yeah, Golden Globes.
Golden Globes, a little like fancy up front, cheap in the back, kind of deal.
Yeah, it was in the cheap seats.
Yeah, everyone was in the cheap seats besides the nominees.
Yeah.
That was pretty exciting. That was cool to see the scale of that. What were some of the highlights for you?
I think for me, definitely going to the Mix showcase was really great because that felt a little bit more like events that I'm used to.
Sure, that is one.
That's exactly what it is. It's just like a bunch of tables with indie games set up and like a bar and like just great conversation, and that was a really fun event.
So yeah, let's surrounding GDC, there will be a lot of parties because there again, all these people from all around the world, they fly in. It's a great opportunity to get you the eyeballs that you need. And for this example, Media Indie Exchange, the Mix, they host a party. They hosted 2 parties that we went to. But the first one we went to, that showcase, that one is so indie developers can come and try to find publishers. That's really what it's all about. It's just like having a PAX, except what if you're only looking for publishers?
Right. It's just getting all the indie games in one space.
And sure, some of them have publishers, of course, but like that is the goal.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, that is the goal. I like that event a lot. I'm a huge Mix fan. Hit us up, Justin Woodward. Everyone tweeted
Friend
him,
of the show.
Tweeted him right now and be like, "Bitch, you coming to bit someone or what?" Yeah, that was a really good one for me too. So anything else?
I went to the what was it called? The Gender Diversity Brunch.
Right.
But it was actually really good, like networking and meeting people. Like, I don't know. In the games industry, I meet a lot of dudes, which is great.
Well, it's
But-
like 90%
Yeah.
dudes. I mean, what do you? Yeah.
But like this brunch was probably 90% women. And
Right.
so it was just really nice to like meet women in the industry, and like there were some people I already knew there. I was invited by the unpacking crew like the day before. I was
Right.
like, "Oh, that's happening. I want to go to that." And it was really great. And it was Mexican food.
Right. Yeah, we went to the same restaurant the night before as well.
Yeah,
right?
it was funny. Like we went out to dinner at that restaurant, and then they told me about the brunch, and I was like, "Sweet, I'll be there." You know.
Right.
And then I got home and actually looked at the invitation, and I was like,
Oh no.
"That's the restaurant we were just at."
Oh no.
And then when I went, the same bartender was there.
Yeah, that's
and he's
funny.
like, "Welcome back.
Right,
Would
right,
you
right.
like a drink?"
That's funny.
So it was super fun, and
Right.
I think that was probably the best like networking event I actually went to.
Oh yeah.
Because then I saw a lot of those people again and again and again, because they would be like at another party. And like at the Remedy party, for example, when I first walked in, I didn't like initially know anybody. Do you know that feeling when you're like,
Well,
oh,
yeah.
oh no. But then I like saw a girl that I met at the brunch, and I was like,
Right.
and
right,
then from
right.
that, it like I started talking, and then it blossomed into meeting new people.
Then
and
you
the
had
way
some
parties
drinks.
work.
Let's be real. All right, come on. Yeah. Yeah.
That one was a really great way to like start GDC off.
No, that's great. I feel like you just threw our friend of the show, Matt Kim, under the bus, because for me, an absolute highlight was we got to go visit IGN. That was my second time, but their first time in the new office. And
That was really fun.
yeah, it was super fun. Matt Kim from IGN is a great dude, a great homie to us.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought him a nice, expensive lunch. That's right, Matt Kim. We bought you lunch, you little piece of shit. So
And it was Mexican food.
It was. Fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah, wow, we really did have a lot of Mexican food. Good lord.
Every day, I think.
Yeah, it was really cool to see how the other part of the industry work and like see their office. Because I previously went to the old IGN office, and it was morbid and sad, and this one is like big, bright, and vibrant, and
Yeah, it was like so much natural light was in there. It was
So-
like a really great space, and they're like slowly putting together like that little like museum.
so cool. So
So cool.
that was a huge highlight for me. But for me, it's like any of the like actual events per se, or like I don't really give a shit. However, it is always great to catch up with buddies and
Yeah.
see how how everybody's doing as far as like how they feel about the temperature of the industry, and see where everybody's headed, because we're all really hungry, and it's great to know other people are just as hungry as us. I feel a little isolated over in Japan. Like
Yeah.
we
A lot of people think of making games and living in Japan as like the ultimate dream of making games, but you are very isolated because a lot of the industry is not here.
a vast majority is
Yeah.
not. I would say 98% of video games is not in Japan.
Yeah.
Yes, hardware is made here.
Yeah.
Okay. Nintendo and Sony are here, but that's it's all made elsewhere. That doesn't mean it's not a people don't come and visit us every fucking week. But it just feels lonely from an industry standpoint, and it's nice to catch up with all of these buddies from around the world. And it's also nice that we have like one rally point. Even though San Francisco as a city is fucking horrible. It is absolutely horrible. And it's like one of my favorite towns, but it's just horrible. Like the condition it's in is
yeah.
not doing great. I got to see not one, but two people have diarrhea. And I got to see.
I was like, is it poop or crack?
Yeah. Oh, no crack. It was meth. Meth's got that weird burny smell.
Yep.
No, I definitely smelled some meth. But and I got to see one guy. This is nasty labs. I can talk about it. He was pushing a shopping cart, and his pants were down by his knees, and
Oh, no.
he was all chafed, and his butt was chafed.
Oh no!
And he decided to pee while he was going.
Just while he was walking.
And it was like, oh, and it really made me feel sad, and
San Francisco,
Yeah.
the city of sparkles.
Did you say Sad Francisco? Because that's what it is, dude. That shit is sad as hell, dude. But
Francisco.
did you get a chance to see any of San Francisco?
Not as much as I was hoping.
Okay, no.
I saw the Golden Gate Bridge from a cab,
Okay.
and I didn't.
So no. You can say no.
and
Okay,
I didn't
know
do
that.
anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I did nothing touristy.
Got it. So as much as I am sad about San Francisco as a city, I am also, it's one of my favorite cities. It's so beautiful. And this year I made a point to go see 4 locations from Vertigo. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to see. I wanted to go to 6, but I went to one of the a tower. I can't think of the name. And then I went to where she jumps off the bridge in underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. And then I went to 2 other locations that I can't remember right now. Nice. The Natural History Museum and the Art Museum. I love San Francisco. Get it together, but I love it. GDC was awesome.
GDC was awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to go again.
Yeah. Do you think you'll be able to go in the future?
I hope so.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I mean, that's not my choice.
I mean, yeah. So in addition, I guess we'll just pivot a little bit. Yeah. So after GDC, I went to WASD WASD in London.
I have a question.
Do
people say WASD or
No.
do people say WASD?
They say WASD.
Oh,
I don't like WASD.
That's
I think
the
it's
worst of the choices.
Yeah. They say WASD, and that's easily the worst.
Ugh,
That's why I say WASD WASD.
It's like for the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
Don't
I always
Portland Retro Gaming.
I always say PRGE. Okay.
PRG.
Or Portland Retro.
Do people say Berg?
Purge. People say purge.
Purge?
And I'm like,
Purge?
no, why is
Purge?
that your
Purge? Oh, I mean, but when you were in Seattle, you were purging when you were listening. Getting ready for PRGE.
So yeah, I don't like WASD. Sorry. I like WASD, WASD, and I like WASD.
Yeah. So anyway, I agree with you. I think that's but so last year we went on behalf of Kirsta Golf for to show the game, and I really fell in love with it. That was the first year, and this year I was looking at like flights, and it was $400 to get to London.
The stars just aligned.
Yeah, and because I had such a good relationship with the founders over there, like they hooked me up with a hotel room, and in exchange that I make a video, and hey man, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do that. So
Yeah, you'll do that anyways.
yeah, I was gonna do that. I was gonna do that anyways.
Yeah.
I was like, so it all worked out. But that was that was off this street called Brick Lane, which is a mile long of curry restaurants. And there's a guy outside of every curry restaurant trying to get you in. And he didn't go to me because I'm alone, but like to couples, he would say funny things, and he would be like, or like an example would be, hey, come inside. I know there's a lot of people, but we can kick them out. You can take their spot. You are more important than them. I like this place. But that one, that was a consumer facing event. But in the middle of PAX and GDC, that was what their goal was. They were trying to half of the entire event was for meetings. And like
It had like a business area.
It had a business area. It had all free drinks, or free booze, free food in the business area if you had a business pass. But the other half was all consumer-facing games, and there was Devolver had a huge showing. Capcom had their very first playable demo in any consumer event for Street Fighter 6.
Oh, cool. That's a big get for WASD.
It is so the guys that run it. They used to run EGX, which is the
Rezzed
EGX,
yeah.
which is now owned by ReedPop, which is PAX,
and every convention,
and and GDC, and
Yeah.
I believe so. I could be wrong there, but it's every fucking convention, and so these guys have the know-how. They basically said, you know what, we're not ReedPop anymore. Let's just start our own thing.
Yeah.
And it felt super professional from last year, and this year it felt even bigger. Tons of games, like restaurants next to games. It was just very comfortable. It was
That's cool.
Yeah. It was in this building called the Truman Brewery. I guess it's one of the older or oldest big breweries in London. So super historic, super beautiful. Got to go to. I invaded the Sony party. There was a private Sony party, and
Did you crash it?
I did.
Yeah.
I totally did. So I got there, and they were like, "Oh, what's your name?" And I'm like, "Oh, Mark." And they're like, "Oh, it's not on the list." And I'm like, "Well, it should be." And I kept saying, "Oh, well, keep looking." Those sorts of deals until I saw someone I knew, and then I ran over and said, "Hey!" And she's like, "All right, come on in."
Got him.
Yeah. So I went to that, and overall, it was phenomenal. And next year, you're going.
I really want to go.
Like it or lump it, all right?
It seems like that show has like a really like nice vibe about it.
It's up and coming. It's very another cool part I didn't mention was so they've got the business to business side, they've got the consumer side, but then they also have a middle track which is pretty unique, and that's very how to get into the industry. How to. So they have talks, and they're all facing towards the youth.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so they had Rami Ishmael. They had all these other people talking about how to get your game published or why to get your game published. You know, not always the same. Or like, is school right for me? Or these sorts of talks. You know, so it for the younger lads, it's definitely, or people that are just want to pivot like we did. We pivoted later in life. Really, really helpful kind of stuff. So. Overall, fantastic event. You're going next year. You're going to be talking. Awesome. You're going to be giving a talk.
Oh, nobody wants me to talk.
Yeah. You're going to say how I gamed industry.
How I gamed the industry?
Yeah.
That's a good title.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
In today's age, you need a podcast you can trust. That's why you need Hair of the Dogcast. Entertaining and well-informed discussions on both video games and beer. Meet our local podcast team. Dylan.
I'm out here on the street, Brad, and everyone's clamoring for better podcasts.
Our new rookie correspondent, Tyler.
I play The Witcher.
And I'm Brad, and I'm slowly learning to hate myself and video games. And Dylan's reporting to us live from Kingdom Hearts 3.
There's a lot of Frozen here. Too much Frozen.
Hair of the Dogcast is a podcast you can trust. On your favorite podcast app every Wednesday, or whenever I decide to post it. Only on the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network.
And now it's time for the news.
The news.
And this first one is very close to my heart because I'm a sucker.
She is a sucker. She's a rube, dude.
And we've talked about this kind of thing a few times. And as you probably all know, I'm a sucker. So, yeah. So, if you've listened to our show for a while, then you already know I love me some Combini lotteries. And this next one.
Hold on. Tell them what a Combini lottery is, just in case.
Okay. So, a Combini lottery is usually after some kind of like anime or IP or whatever, and you can buy a little ticket. It's usually like 700 yen, and you just take it up to the counter and buy it, and then you get to draw and see what prize you get.
Rewind even a little bit more. Combini, convenience store, 7-Eleven store, 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Lawson. They all have them. Okay, it's random crap for $7.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bandai Spirits announced an Ichiban Kuji, which is a company that runs 99% of these lotteries.
Right.
So it's an Ichiban Kuji lottery. And they're doing one for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom that will start at Lawson stores on May 9th.
Uh-oh.
It's just around the corner.
Uh-oh.
And it's just ahead of the release date for the game as well. And some of the prizes are pretty great, including Korok keychains, which is like the lowest one.
Right.
And then there's like mugs, a blanket, and even a light up master sword, which is the biggest prize.
Okay.
And okay,
All right.
the last couple lotteries I've played at the convenience store, I've gotten the B prize.
Okay.
The last couple. I don't know if I've gotten an A yet.
This is the tiers.
The tiers,
This is
it's-
from the shitty folder all the way up until to a plastic sword.
Yeah, but it lights up.
Right.
Well, normally the last time I have like several like large Pokemon plushies that
Right.
were like the A or the B. And they also always do a last one prize, which is usually a pretty good prize, but it's for the last ticket sold. So it gives you that like gambling thing where like you're like, oh, there's only 5 tickets left.
Right.
What if I just buy them all?
That's what they want. Like it's all it's a bunch of tchotchkes. And I've done it a few times. I have some Mario ashtrays. Nice.
Nice.
yeah, let's talk about how much money you're gonna spend.
Well,
So-
the tickets are like 700 yen.
And they are.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, the lottery that I've bought the most tickets in so far
Yeah.
was Animal Crossing,
Okay.
and that's also the one I got the worst prizes.
Right.
So now I feel like I've been burned because the Pokemon Ichiban Kuji, I got like maybe 2 of the smaller prizes, but then 2 of the big prizes. So that's like 4 tickets. That's pretty good.
Okay.
And I never got the lowest prize either. I got mid tier.
Are you running
pretty good.
on some fallacy that because you're like lucky? Is that what you think?
I do not think I'm lucky.
Okay,
but
you-
I do
like,
think
there's no such thing as
I'm doing
luck.
okay. I'm doing okay.
Okay.
I was drunk the other day and I walked into a 7-Eleven. They had a Kuromi Ichiban Kuji, which is a Hello Kitty character, and I bought 1 ticket. B baby.
She's riding on some
Bam.
fallacy over here. So let's go back to like how much money we think we're gonna spend.
I'm on a hot streak.
I think you're gonna spend.
I'm gonna spend an embarrassing amount of
I
money.
think you are. I'm gonna say you're gonna spend. Let's do multiples of 7. I think you're gonna spend 7,700 yen. That's 11 goes. That's what I think. Can you
probably
document
fair.
how many you buy? Like
yeah.
just for
And it's only Lawson. So starting on May 9th, we will no longer walk to the close convenience. We got to
Right.
walk to the Lawson.
the Lawson down there. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but so I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. However, I like participating when you do. So I'll buy 1.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Do it.
You know.
Do it.
Like if I drank more, I would buy a lot more. Because why not? Like it's kind of fun.
Yeah, and some of them, there's some of the prizes, there's like rupee dishes, like small plates.
Yeah.
And they're really
Ashtrays.
cute, and I want them.
Yeah, she likes
They're so cute.
tchotchkes. I'm gonna do it and just give her the crap. Like
Yeah. Give me the crap. And actually, I just realized all of our news stories today are Nintendo.
Boo.
All Nintendo. Yay.
Yay.
All right. And next up, Nintendo announced last week that they will be opening a 3rd official Nintendo store in Japan. And this one will be located in Nintendo's hometown
Of Osaka.
of Kyoto.
Hey.
Yay! And it'll be in the Takashimaya building near Kawaramachi, and it'll open October 17th, 2023. I got thoughts on this.
Okay.
1, I am excited
Okay.
because the Osaka one, it's close, but it's always so packed. Not that this one won't be packed, just at least I don't have to like go for an hour and not be able to go in. Like travel to there for an hour and then not be able to go in.
Okay.
So that's nice. It's a lot closer to my house. It's great. However, this will also be the first one that is not right next to the Pokemon Center.
But what is that? However.
I'm upset about it.
It's hold on. All right, guys. She lives next to the Pokemon crap store. It's not like you go there every day anyway. Who gives a shit? So it's more stuff for you to buy.
And it is like, this is a lot more touristy centric location. So I understand why they put it there. Also, it's in a mall, so it probably has space. Where the Pokemon Center is, like, I don't think there's an awful lot of space.
I think you're just overanalyzing this entirely. They just went in square meters and they're like, what's the nearest train? They want the most money from the least amount of effort.
But I wonder, I don't think they'd move the Pokemon Center, but next to all the other Nintendo stores, it's like a nerd floor. It has like the Capcom store and the Shonen Jump store and the Nintendo store. So I'd be curious to see what else is going to go in there around it. Yay,
Nice.
Nintendo store!
I'll go one time. Next
Yeah.
one.
The recently released Super Mario Brothers movie continues to shatter box office records, earning $92.5 million this past weekend,
Okay.
which is the biggest second weekend ever for an animated movie. It even passed Frozen 2's record of $86 million,
Oh,
which
wow.
is nuts because like people love Frozen. And Frozen 2 like demolished Frozen 1.
Right.
And it was super popular. And they also smashed the record for the first opening weekend, earning $368 million in the first 5 days.
Zoinks.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mario's the money man.
I mean, we all knew this would happen.
Yeah, I knew that it was going to be crazy popular, but breaking Frozen's record is really high. Like,
So if Mario the character is more well known than Mickey, if I could have gambled on this, I would have gambled on this that a lot of money that Mario would have come close to, if not won the first record. I mean, I've seen it. I saw it on opening night in Sweden, and it was filled.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, of course it was. It was completely packed. I also had the best seats because we bought our seats a month and a half in advance. And yeah, I mean, it's not made for you and me. I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah.
I'm
assuming it's gonna be geared towards kids, but I think I'm still gonna enjoy it because I loved the Sonic movies as well.
Not sure if it's like that. I think the Sonic movies is probably. I've only seen the first 10 minutes of the first one, so maybe I don't know.
I watched the Sonic 2 on the plane.
Nice.
It was great.
Got it. Okay. Well, I look forward to you telling me what you think about it in how many days?
It comes out on the 28th, I believe, here.
Oh, okay.
Like in true Japan fashion, we do not get movies the same as everybody else. So my Twitter feed was going nuts, and I'm just like, I want to see it.
Right.
So soon. We'll
Hell
see it
yeah.
soon.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And now it's time for Call Me Up, where we answer your questions from Discord. If you ever want to ask us a question, go on over to the Chew High Labs Discord. Scroll down. Unless you have a really big monitor, then you might not have to scroll.
Yeah, it could be 4K.
Yeah, it could be.
Like, it could be like literally right there.
And scroll on down to the Call Me Up section and ask your question.
All right. This first question comes from Cupcake.
Hi, Cupcake.
As a game developer, what are the advantages to moving to Japan, especially in today's remote work culture?
So we actually touched on this a little bit while we were talking about the expos.
I guess accidentally.
Feeling like a little bit isolated over here. Because is it the birthplace of Nintendo? Yes, it is. Do we live right in Kyoto, Nintendo's backyard? Yes, we do. But at the same time, it is kind of isolating. And when you're trying to do business with other countries, it's the worst time zone.
Yeah.
Unless Australia.
All right. So two things real quick. One, you said we're in the backyard of Nintendo. You've probably only met 3 people that work in Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it's not like we even meet them,
Yeah.
However, so he asked about advantages. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is a tough one because we need we don't know if Cupcake wants to come over here to be a solo developer. We don't know if
I think that would be really hard.
No, I think that would be next to impossible.
Because getting a visa here is a challenge, too.
Well, you'd have to do. Let's remove all that. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Let's assume that Cupcake can be here legally. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just being a solo developer. I don't know if there's any advantage.
Yeah.
With the exception that the pool is much smaller.
Yeah.
However, the fish are also smaller because of that. So that's not exactly an advantage, but they're the pool is smaller. The actual advantage, if you're not a solo developer, is there are only a handful of studios, but luckily we all have good relationships.
Yeah.
And let's just say you came to work for us and you're like, oh, Mark's an asshole. Or whatever, whatever,
as you do. No,
okay, as you do. No, let's just say that the culture fit's not there.
Right.
There are other options. That doesn't mean that everybody's hiring all the time, but at least what I mean is, all of us at this studio, with the exception of Kinsey and a handful of others, have worked at every studio.
Yeah.
We've all because if you work at a studio long enough, you get to know all the other studios, and maybe they have an opening coming up, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna try something else. You can.
Yeah, I think the indie community here is really tight,
and
I really like it.
And it's not just the indies too.
Yeah,
There
not
are
just indies.
for example, it's very, very possible to go from us to Ubisoft or us to the pipeline to Capcom's a little less there, but there are other studios here that you can bounce around to if you wanted to. The other advantage is salary. And while salaries are lower in Japan across the board, so is the cost of living.
Yeah.
So I think I think that most people take home more money here than they would at most places around the world.
Yeah.
There are exceptions, and I'm not going to be Riot Games in LA, they get paid this much money. I just mean in general.
Yeah.
Those are mine.
Actually, yeah, I totally agree. Cost of living is a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proximity to the other companies, yes. The indie game community is awesome. And I know the indie game community, like, for example, in Seattle is also awesome.
Sure.
So you can get that same community feeling in other places, but not quite with this low of cost of living.
Right. And I don't know how I feel like like in Seattle, the indie community could be really good, but like how good could it be if you were trying to be a developer from zero? I don't know
Yeah.
if Seattle is that supportive. I feel like Japan and maybe other smaller regions are very supportive to like newcomers and whatnot. The other part of this question is, especially in today's remote work culture, and I don't have an answer for that part.
I mean, if he means like working at a U.S. company while living here kind of thing.
Moving to Japan, especially in today's remote culture. What's that mean?
I think that would mean working at a different company, but working from home from Japan. And if your company's not Japanese, like, I know we don't really want to get into the visa stuff, but then you wouldn't really be able to just work remote here unless you can get a working holiday visa.
Okay,
but that has a whole bunch of things.
Okay, yeah, don't go down that route.
But if you're working at a company from a different country, depending on, I mean, the time zone sucks here.
Okay,
It
so
really
I
does.
think this question is like, why would I move to Japan if I can just work remote?
Yeah.
I think that's what it really is.
Because Japan's awesome.
Well, it's inexpensive.
Yeah, it's inexpensive, it's
awesome or
it's
not,
fun.
it is inexpensive.
Yeah.
And it's life is pretty easy over here.
Yeah.
Like I think that's basically it.
Yeah. Agreed.
So this next question comes from Yikmid, one of our mods, Dan Gorman, great guy. He also
love
did.
saying Yikmid.
I know Yikmid. Best food item both of y'all ate on your recent travels.
Ooh, God, I ate so much Mexican food. Okay, no, I got it. I got it.
Okay, go.
Best food I ate while I was traveling. It was a Mexican food item.
Okay.
But it's like those really good, cheesy, runny, refried beans.
Oh yeah, you do like that.
I love them. And you
You've
can't really
always
get
mentioned
that here.
Yeah.
And I had it for like the first time in like over a year. And like as soon as that like spoon hit my mouth, I was just like, ah.
Okay,
The,
all right.
the refried bean angels are singing, and God, it's good.
I mean, I like it, but it's not like all like life changing. But hey, man, to each his own. For me, I had fancy Swedish meatballs. I know that's like I had so many good things in Sweden, but like that.
I do like me some meatballs though.
Man, they were good, dude. So I had normal ass ones. I had like literally a cafeteria, and those could have been from IKEA.
Yeah.
You know, they were like just so normal, and like they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then somebody took me out and like meatballs, and then the whipped potatoes, and then like fresh lingonberry, and then like pickles. Oh man, it was really good. Okay, next question.
Travel game recommendations. What are some games that you reach for when you're on a flight or in a long car ride? Do you bring a pick up and play short burst games or something more long haul?
Ooh,
That's a good question.
that is a pretty good question. We all bring more than one, of course. But I think a perfect game for this is actually Legend of Zelda, because it meets in the middle.
Yeah.
Because it can be short burst where you just do one of those dumb puzzles, or it could be like you're in the long haul. But my honest answer is I probably go the short burst.
Me too, actually. So I've bought several big open world games because of flights.
Right.
So like when The Witcher 3 came out on Switch, I was like, oh, perfect. I'll pick that up. I can play it on a flight. And like I always have that mindset. But when I'm on planes, I'm a very anxious flyer.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I'm all about short bursts. Like
Yeah,
I've played
yeah.
a lot of like theater rhythm on the plane, like just like one quick like rhythm game song, and that's it. And then I'll watch an episode of some crap TV show, and then I'll come back to the game, and then and then I'll have an existential crisis and look out the
course.
window. Like that's how I fly.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So my answer would be the Nintendo. What's the online service? Nintendo Online. I think
Can you play those offline?
I don't know. Okay, what I'm really saying is I play ROMs on my computer. That's what I'm really
just
saying.
Like Super Nintendo games or any of those like
Yeah,
more short bursts.
because I'm gonna have like a billion of them, and I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh, that wasn't very fun. Next, oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't very fun. Like it kind of kills my time It kills my time. It doesn't like satisfy it. It
Yeah.
does what yours did earlier, theater rhythm, and
Yeah.
then it's something else.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. So I always think I'm gonna play something like The Witcher, and then I play something like Theater Rhythm
Yeah.
every time.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I think I always try to play like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and then 10 minutes in, I'm like, no, good lord.
Yeah, I
what
do
am
not
doing?
have an attention span on flights because I'm so anxious.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yay!
And remember, if you ever want to ask us a question, just go on over to our Discord
And
scroll down to the Call Me Up and ask your question there.
but you have to click the thing that says "Call Me
click
Up,"
the thing
and
that says
then
"Call Me
then
Up."
make sure you press enter, and maybe if you want, you can hit @Kinsey.
And that's all the time we have for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, Carve Snowboarding is out right now on the Oculus Quest. Halloween Forever is out right now on the Switch eShop. And you can buy Curse to Golf on pretty much every platform.
Everything.
Also, go buy a Playdate. We got 2 games.
Yeah, we have two games. You can also get our merch on theeddie.com/ChewHighLabs. You can get yourself one of our mugs that are not readily available. You can get all sorts of shit. You can get Chew High Lab stuff. You can get branded stuff from our games. Whatever. Go check that out right now. And let's talk about social medias. You can find me at twitter.com/TheHenryDemos. Kinsey Burke, where can people find you?
You can find me at Kinzilla, K-N-S-C-I-L-L-A, on pretty much all the things, but really just Twitter. Oh, and Insta. I'm on Insta a fair amount these days. And you can find Chew High Labs at Chew High Labs on all the things.
All the things.
As always, huge thanks to Tokyo Beat, and thank you all for listening. You are legally the best. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.